Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear cadets of class 9, I welcome you all in my today's online class. Dear cadets, in this pandemic situation, I hope you are safe and sound at your sweet home with your parents, family members, and relatives. Dear cadets, one request to you: if you feel any sort of sick or illness, please report to the nearest CMH without any delay. And side by side, inform your physical condition to the college authority detailed. Dear cadets, because of an unavoidable circumstances, I am unable to impart you lesson in classroom before you. So, college authority has arranged online class for you. Now I am going to impart my lesson on the jurisdiction and functions of the Judicial Department of Bangladesh. Dear cadets, now Corona awareness speech. Cadets, I am giving you some advices about the coronavirus or COVID-19. Help prevent the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19. First, wash your hands often with soap and water. Second, avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth. Third, cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Fourth, disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Fifth, avoid close contact with people who are sick. Finally, stay home if you are sick, except to get medical care. My dear cadets, I am Mr. AL-AMIN Mukta, Associate Professor, Political Science. Today's subject of the lesson is Bangladesh and Global Studies. My part is Civics. So, Chapter 7 and Section 7 by 1. My dear cadets, here you see two pictures. First one is one statue. The statue is holding one measurement in left hand, and second one is a building of court. First statue is the symbol of justice, and second picture is the building of Bangladesh Supreme Court. So, from these two pictures or photographs, you can easily guess. Today, I am going to impart my lesson on very important organs of the government, judiciary, functions of judiciary, judicial department, and the appointment of judges. So, in this connection, today's topic is jurisdiction and functions of the Judicial Department of Bangladesh. Dear cadets, now learning outcomes of today's lesson. End of the lesson, you will be able to explain the power and jurisdiction of the judiciary of Bangladesh. And also you will be able to describe the functions of the judiciary of Bangladesh. After finishing this lesson, you will be able to explain the roles of the judiciary towards the enforcement of fundamental rights of the people and protecting the rule of law. Finally, you will be able to describe the appointment procedure of judges. My dear kids, now lesson introduction. The judicial system of any country is like a scale measuring the standard of its justice de facto. My dear kids, de facto means in fact or in reality. So the judicial system helps to introduce a competent governance system by establishing a just and neutral judicial system in the country. As an important organs of the state, its jurisdictions and functions are very extensive in general terms, which are mentioned in brief below. Dear kids, now functions of Judicial Department of Bangladesh. The first and foremost function of Judicial Department or judiciary is to dispense justice. My dear kids, the meaning of word dispense is to deal out or to administer. Again, is to deal out or to administer. Kids, the main task of the judiciary, including judging the convicted for the offense and the infringer of law in according with the existing laws. Dear kids, infringer means the person who violated the rules or regulations or laws. Infringe, infringement, infringer. Kids, to this effect, the judges independently and freely try judicially on the basis of equity as for law in the courts. Again, the judicial department virtually tries to establish the justice in the society in order to award punishment to the accused through investigation of the real occurrence in any suit, either of civil or criminal in nature. Now, what is the meaning of suit? S-U-I-T, suit. Kids, suit means case. It means that real occurrence of any case, either of civil or criminal in nature. Kids, the next function of judicial department is to make law. Usually, the judiciary is vested with the chairs to expound and apply the law in exercise of the power. Kids, keep in mind, law without application or apply is just meaningless. That's why judiciary apply the law in exercise of the power. Besides, the judges usually unify new laws. The judges, in absence of appropriate law, in some extents of practice, pronounce a judgment unanimously, which is considered a law with effect. My dear kids, after making law, then the function of judiciary is to protect fundamental rights. The court itself is vested with the responsibility to protect the fundamental rights of the people. Fundamental rights or basic rights means right to live, right to food, right to education, right to shelter, right to treatment, and so on. These are the basic or fundamental rights. So to protect the fundamental rights of the people generally included in the Constitution. It creates. Next function of judiciary is to expound and apply law. We know the key functions of the judiciary include expounding and analyzing the law and enforce the law accordingly. Law means law enacted by the parliament, judicial order, and different customary uses. Custom and customary. Custom, the practice, uses, and exercise which people have been doing from a longer period of time. Next function of judiciary is to safeguard the constitution. Dear creators, we know constitution is the fundamental document. So with this connection, the judiciary acts as custodian of the constitution. It delivers an ultimate expounding of the constitution. Judicial reviews have great importance in the US system of governance, where the Supreme Court holds authority to a great extent. It creates the next function of judiciary is to settle dispute. There is a proverb. There is people, there is dispute. Human being is there, misunderstanding, chaos, conflict, and disputes are very normal or natural phenomena. So with this connection, from time to time, disputes in different agencies, bodies, the state, and the individuals thereof arise, and the judicial department makes such disputes settled and solved. It creates. After that, another function of the judicial department is to advise the administrative department. The judicial department also provides advices upon request from the administrative department. Now, miscellaneous functions. That creates the judiciary executes of miscellaneous functions in exercise of the power, such as first, awarding citizenship to the alien citizens, means the foreign citizens. Number 2, determining the guardianship. Number 3, granting license. Number 4, looking after the properties belonging to the minors. It means kids or minorized. Dear cadets, now role of the judiciary to protecting the rights and the rule of law. This is a very important role of the judiciary to protect the rights and rule of law. Creates the judiciary is a democratic system, prescribes what to do to keeping up the people's freedom, and may take all necessary arrangement not to infringe individuals' human rights. In other words, it may be said that the judiciary protects personal freedom of the people. This department virtually acts as a safeguard of the personal freedom by protecting civic rights, it means rights of the citizen, and fundamental rights, it means the basic rights recognized by the Constitution de facto. Earlier, I have told de facto means in fact or in reality. The judiciary has to, in order to protect such right, adopt some particular methods. The procedures or methods are: first, mandamus writ; second, certiorari writ; third, prohibition writ; fourth, habeas corpus writ; fifth, quo warranto, etc. Now, one by one, I will briefly discuss about these 5 writs. First one, writ of mandamus or mandamus writ. Dear cadets, mandamus writ is a writ in a court order issued by a judge at a petitioner's request, compelling someone to execute a duty that they are legally obliged to complete. Second, certiorari writ or writ certiorari. My dear cadets, the word certiorari comes from Latin word. It means to be more fully informed. To be more fully informed. A writ of certiorari orders a lower court to deliver its record in a case so that the higher court may review it. The US Supreme Court uses certiorari to select most of the cases it hears. Then, writ of prohibition or prohibition writ. Writ of prohibition is a writ issued by a superior court to prevent an inferior court from acting beyond its jurisdiction. It means that if a inferior or lower court act beyond its jurisdiction, then higher court can prevent that. Now, fourth one, habeas corpus writ. Dear cadets, habeas corpus writ is an ancient common law writ, where issued by a court or judge directing one who holds another in custody to produce the person before the court for some specified purpose. Finally, quo warranto writ. Quo warranto is an English writ formally requiring a person to show by what authority he exercises a public office or franchise or liberty. In brief, this is the meaning or definition of mandamus writ, certiorari writ, prohibition writ, habeas corpus writ, and finally quo warranto writ. My dear cadets, the Judicial Department has the right to issue this writ, jurisdiction through which the judiciary, upon application of the aggrieved person, may order the relevant accused person or authority to appear before the court in exercise of the power. In recent days, the judiciary of Bangladesh has issued different important writs suo motu in order to protect human rights in Bangladesh, which has largely been applauded by the public. Cadets, the meaning of suo motu. Suo motu relating to an action taken by a court of its own accord without any request, by the parties involved. But it creates, after the discussion of function and jurisdiction of the judicial department, now the appointment procedure of judges. The appointment procedure is the first step to maintain independence of judiciary in Bangladesh. Different types of procedures are applied in order to appoint judges to high courts in abroad, such as the election by the people, B, the election by the judiciary, C, the appointment by the chief executive of the government. Today's qualification for appointment of the judges have been defined in the Constitution of Bangladesh. The President, upon compliance with the fulfillment of provisions for appointment, appoints the judges with the advice of Chief Justice. Since there are different intricacies in the other both procedures, most of the state generally serve appointment of the judges by the chief executive of the government in these days. Chief executive means in parliamentary form of government, prime minister, and presidential form of government, president. The President appoints the Chief Justice and other judges to the High Court. But subordinate judges get appointment through undergoing competitive examination. Dear critics, in conclusion, we can say that the Bangladesh judiciary is well organized and well administered as well. The Bangladesh judiciary keeps the rule of law unhampered and keeps the democratic system invigorated at its level best. But it creates now home task for you. This is a higher order ability question or higher order thinking ability question. Question is, do you think the judiciary of Bangladesh is functioning its judicial role in free, fair and neutral? Put your logics in favor of your ideas. But it creates again corona awareness. Reduce your risk of COVID-19 infection. First, wash your hand. Second, cover a cough or sneeze. Third, maintain social distancing. Fourth, stay at home. Always stay home unless you have an important reason to leave the house. Medical grades. Next class is section 7.2, the administration system of Bangladesh, the central administration, central government, the local administration, local government. I will impart my lesson on central administration and local administration in next class. Dear grades, assignment upload and submission date from 1600 hours of 27 August 2020 up to 2200 hours of 29 August 2020. Cadets, at last, convey my gratitude and salam to your parents and the family members. Stay safe, stay at home, Thank you. Allah Hafiz.